Whew. All right. Oops, my bad, people. My bad about the noise there. All right, party people. This your man Griff. I've been trying to do this video all day long. Put you on park, and yeah, I just finished dropping off documents. I had 4 appointments a day, a HELOC, a refi, a loan application, and a loan modification. And I got two house inspections I got to do, so I'm about to go do those, and then I'm done for the day. But I wanted to, and let me see if I can pull it up on this phone real quick. Like, I don't, like I said, I know I won't be on. Come on. Here we go. All right, so let me see if I can find the. Okay. All right. So this is a real good question, and it was a question, a comment posed. I won't say question. It was a statement made on the video that I did called that I made. I did a $20 HELOC. I mean a loan modification earlier this week. So today is the 15th. So that was like on the 12th or something like that, I guess, or 11th this week. Yeah, the 11th. All right. So I'm gonna just read through the comment and just share some thoughts on it, because it's really good, and I'm really happy that she made these statements. So in here she said, you say that it puts you in good with these companies, talking about doing these orders, $20 orders, $30 orders, sometimes doing these lower orders. You said you take these low paying jobs. Now, one of the things when you say low paying compared to what? Okay, and not just to you, but to any of us. This is, when you say low paying, what are you comparing it to? Because other people, because if the job is only 2 signatures, or let's say in this case it was 4 signatures, 2 notarizations, how much money should you really get paid for that? So the $20 may be just right for that particular type of order. Now granted, there's other orders that people pay you for and all that, and it could be low. So for me, that wasn't too bad. And it says, I've done many jobs as favor, and still if I ask for an increase on a job that really is either not going to make me money or put me in a hole, I get removed from that order. And that sounds like Notary Go. A lot of times people who are doing orders for Notary Go, they'll take them as a quote unquote, like, okay, I'll do it as a favor, and then they want more money. Now see, here's the thing. If you think about, you're doing something as a favor, okay, I'm gonna do you a favor, but then you want them to give you more money because it's as a favor, meaning you're giving them a favorable whatever, you're doing something, you're hooking them up, and then you're like, okay, well, now pay me more. Well, a lot of times when we do favors for people, it's because they really can't afford to pay us what we want. So if you're doing a favor and then you're telling the person that that company to give you even more, yeah, they're gonna look at you side eye. They're gonna be like, never mind, because we need you to do us a favor, okay? Because we can't pay you anymore. Now, if that is Notary Go is notoriously inexpensive when it comes to paying notaries. They don't pay notaries. I don't want to say the word cheap, because then you have to define cheap, but they don't pay notaries a lot of time what we feel that we should get. And especially as it says here, I had one that was supposed to be for today. It was over 100 miles there and back, so it was a round trip 100 miles. It was a huge packet. They wanted scanned, so I asked, so I would have to go all the way home and then halfway back to the FedEx, and they would not increase my pay. And again, to me, that sounds like Notary Go. Notary Go puts you in those situations where they'll do that. Their job is to pay you for just, see, because we get all these deductions for the mileage, the supplies and stuff. We get $5 deduction for every, at least in Virginia, we get $5 off every time we stamp. So you get a self-employment deduction. So the way they're looking at it sometimes, and they don't say this, but the way the owner is looking at it is, you're making out, or yes, we're paying you this amount, but there's all these deductions that you get to take that maybe that company doesn't get to take. So, and then if the company, whether Notary Go or whoever, only negotiated, let's just say, for them to get paid $120. How much more can they pay you if all they're willing to take is $120? Which means they know they got to pay you something. That means they're only willing to take basically about as much as you, which would be 60. So they pay you 60, let's just say 60, and then you get 60 and they get 60 because they are getting paid overall 120. Let's just say if you're getting 60 and their fee is 100, that means they're taking less than you. So a company that's taking less than you, even though you would consider something like them, you getting paid 200 and them getting paid 150, then you'd be like, well, I got 200 and I don't care about your 150, but they're making 40, you're getting 60, less is less. So they're like, okay, you're getting more of the money than us. So if we give you any more, then we're not making any money for whatever reason. So some companies may look at it as, if I'm doing a whole buttload of orders, I can make a pretty penny off of me getting $40. So I'll pay the notary 60, and then I'll take 40, and then 40 times however many orders I get, I'm probably pulling in $50,000-$60,000 a month because I'm doing a buttload of orders. That's how that company's looking at it. You're saying I'm only doing 35, 40, 50 signings a month, and $60 ain't cutting it. And I agree to a certain point. I agree. But by you doing those orders, you get an experience. Now, here's the other part. You have to transition from those lower paying companies to a higher paying company. And one of the ways you can do that is by adding your orders into SnapDocs, putting in your profile, because signing order and signature and the rest of them don't allow you to put other people's orders in their platform. But you can state in your profile that you've been doing work for this company or for these lenders, and how many closings that you've done. So if you've done 45, 50 closings at this halfway point of the year, you should be indicating that in your profile. So if you're not indicating that in your profile, saying the companies that you're working for, not just the signing company for as Notary Go, but actually the company that is, say, the title company, that's a part of that, that's on that order, you need to say that, hey, I'm doing it for Clarendon Mortgage or Villa Title. I did a closing for them. So that way, because you technically are doing that for them, even though it's through Notary Go or some other company, you put that down there, that I've done, 15 refis for Carrington Mortgage or Villa Title or Old Republic, because you did. That's the title company who did it was Old Republic, and you did it for them. So letting them know, asking them, telling them that's what you did, that is something positive that you should do. And then it goes on to say, the travel, I drive all over the place. Today I've been all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I know I've done over 100 miles today. Yes, it was between multiple orders, but I've done, look, 2 weekends ago, last weekend, which was with whatever the last weekend was. Let me see what last weekend was. The 8th. So on the 8th of July 2023, I drove 2 hours one way to go do a 15-minute closing. Now, granted, I made $300, and this is leading into the next point that she brought out. I made $300 on it, but it was a 4-hour round trip, and probably longer because it was raining. I had to slow down and drive a little slower because of all the rain. But I still drove 2 hours. Now, here's the thing. Did I actually profit from that? If you want to count gas and time and this and that, I don't know. I may have not. Just because it's $300 and you put in this a lot of effort, don't mean that you actually made out. Whereas you can do a smaller, order that costs less, and guess what? You could end up statistically making more money on a smaller order because you didn't have all of these other little factors in there. So you have to take all of that into consideration. It's really about what can you bring in from the beginning of the month to the end of the month that can help you pay your bills the next month. And not every order is going to be a profit. So the person shared and kept going on, said it was a huge package. They didn't even inform the client until an hour ago, and he was still texting me about the meetup. So clearly they had an issue finding someone else. Correct. Sometimes they don't just want to cough up the cash. Correct. I have to at least break even on a job for me to do all that work. And that's the thing there. What is really breaking even? What do you deem as breaking even? Because each business is different. Do you really know your true cost to do the order? And see, this is where a lot of people, they start getting really in the nitty gritty of trying to calculate what the cost is for the paper, the pen, the ink that's coming out the pen, the electricity in the computer, the gas in the car, all of that kind of stuff. And then they're like, okay, it cost me this much to do the order, and I only got paid this. But then do you account for your deductions, your tax deductions that you have? Because when you account for your tax deduction, your mileage deduction at 66.5 cents per mile, I believe that's what it is now, and you're driving 100 miles, that's $66 in gas, in tax deductions. So that means you get to deduct $66 from that order that's taxable. So let's say the order was $85. So you got an $85 order. Where my calculator at? Y'all know how I do with the math thing. So you got an $85 order, clear, 85, and then you deduct the $66. So that means your taxable income is only $19 of taxable income. Because the difference between that 85, you minus 66, meaning $66 gets deducted for gas purposes and everything. So that means so your taxable income off of that $85 is $19. Now you add in your stamp deduction, the deduction for every time you stamp, which is a self-employment tax deduction, and whatever your state thing is, that's, you get to deduct that. So let's just say refi, and let's just say for some reason, like they said, it was a big package. So let's just say it was 10 notarizations in there. Well, in Virginia, we can deduct $5 off of every notarization. Off of every we can deduct $5 off of the total amount that we're getting paid. So 5 times, so you got 10 times 5 is 50. So that means that $19, now you minus the $50 from it, that's a negative 31. So now you're basically not paying any self-employment tax on that order. So you did it for $85, and now you're not even paying taxes on that 85. So you take that same $200, the same everything. So you got 66. So you got 66 plus the 50. So 66 plus the 50. So you got $116. Okay. So you say you did an order. So you got $200 for that order minus 116. You still got and this is right there, show you 84. Now you have to pay taxes on just $84. One order you did for 84, 85, and you don't pay taxes on it at all, but you say I want $200. Okay, cool. Just know that it's because you don't have another $84 worth of deductions, you're going to have to pay taxes on the remaining. That's all this is about. So that's where you start looking at your profit and breaking even and all of that. Then the deduction for your equipment, your paper, all that kind of stuff. All of those are deductions that you got to look at. Okay, so when you talk about breaking even, how are you planning on breaking even? And the way it's supposed to work is income minus minus expenses, or revenue minus expenses equals your profit. Okay, you're either zero, plus, or negative. And now here's the thing: if you're getting, say, $150 an order, and let's just say you're getting $150 for every order, and we'll just say you do we'll say, like, I did 70 orders, but we're going to take it down. So we say $150 times, we'll say 35 orders. So that's 5,250, okay? 5,250. The question is, what are your expenses like? If your expenses are high, it may not matter how much money you bring in. If your money you bringing in can't handle the expenses that you've incurred, then that becomes a problem. So maybe you have to look at, and this is for everybody, adjusting your expenses. And that's one of the things I had to do. I had to adjust my expenses. You can't keep going to every conference. You can't keep going to every meetup. You can't keep buying every course. You can't keep paying for mentors and you're not doing the work and they're not putting you in a position to do the work. That becomes a problem for you because your expenses are too high. And then you're spending especially when you're spending your household money to take care of your business, that becomes a huge problem. And many of you are feeling that right now. So it's a great statement that the person made, but if you're looking, okay, this is a young lady. If you're looking for somebody to come in there and save you, no, you got to save yourself. People tell you don't put your orders in this platform, don't say nothing. Okay, how is that working for you? And really, for many of you, it's not. So you got to step back and say, okay, is what they told me to do really working? Because yeah, I see interviews and see statements online about people making this, that, and the other money. But does that really work, or is it that they're doing that and something else? I'm a notary and a signing company owner. I got people, doing, bringing in me money that way. Okay, well, I'm not trying to be a signing company owner. From a notary standpoint, where you're at financially? Oh man, I'm not really making that kind of money with the notary, because the bulk of my money comes from the signing company part. Okay, so you struggling just like me. And if you're not the person that want to do a signing company, and how many more signing companies are we going to have? Because at some point in time, there needs to be a notary that's going to do the work. So you're saying you don't want to do the work, or you might be willing to do the work, but you're not getting paid enough. Well, then the question becomes, why can't that signing company owner negotiate better fees? Maybe they don't want to negotiate better fees. I did a video about that called making $30,000 a month off of a $75 order. You do 400 orders at $75 a piece, that's $30,000. I'm like, okay, gotcha. So this is what's going on, and I hear the concern and the pain and all of that y'all going through, but you're going to have to make an adjustment. You're going to have to put yourself out there and do the work and not expect to make a profit on every single order. There's some companies you're going to do work with, they pay good, this, that, and the other, but you're just not going to make a profit on them. But they're there to put some kind of funds in your pocket and give you some legitimacy, some credibility, because you actually did work for them and you did it right. So if you have all of that into play, then when the other companies come looking for you, what will they see? That's the question. When other companies come looking for you, what will they see? Will they only see that you still haven't shown that you've done anything in the last 6 months, or will they see that you've done 120 closings or notarial assignments in the last 6 months? Which one is it? That's something you got to decide. Okay, so I'm gonna hop off here, go do the house inspections and all that good stuff. I'm tired. Y'all probably can see it in my eyes. But I'm tired. I'm gonna go take me a nap when I'm done, and then I'm gonna have to look at setting something up with the members this upcoming weekend, so we can kick it and answer some questions and see how they doing and everything. And again, the 22nd, so it's got 2 more weekends. Oh, it's 5 weekends this month. All right, cool. So I'm here to help y'all, but you got to do your part, and I think if you do, you'll see really, really quickly things are going to change for you to the positive. All right, talk to y'all later. Peace.